In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up a safety net for your ad spend with Facebook. Because sometimes as you manage multiple campaigns and possibly multiple ad accounts, it's easy to lose track on what you're spending on, and this has led to quite some cases where people spend more than they intended, or with an unchecked spending, they max out their credit cards. So this will be fantastic for you to set some kind of security in place. And the other reason would be just in case of a minuscule chance that your ad account had got hacked, this will be the maximum that you would so-called lose. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is the payment settings, and as you can see that this account we have set up the account spending limit. But let's just rewind back a little bit on how we arrive at a page like this. So what you want to do is that when you log into your business account for Facebook, you want to go to the top left menu and head down to billing. So this is the page where Facebook will send you all the invoices for every time you do an ad spend or a billing, but we're not going to stop here. So what you want to do is you want to go to the top right and click on payment settings. And we'll arrive at this familiar page. Now, by default, if your account is brand new, you're going to see that there's no account spending limit, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so what you want to do is you're going to click on change, and we can put in any amount that you want. So this account's currency is in US dollars, and currently this is set to 300 USD, and I'll click on update limit. So what happens is that after an ad spend of 300 US dollars, the account will stop spending. And for me to continue spending, I would either A, click on the reset button, which is what I should be doing anyway. All right, I'll click on reset, and I'm going to confirm that. And this allows me to continue spending with the ad account again, or I can also click on change and increase it to a higher limit, let's say 500 US dollars. So this is totally up to you. There's no so-called magic number. But as a rule of thumb, you don't want to put such a low amount, such as like $10 or $20. Otherwise, you have to keep coming back here and reset the ad spend at $5 to $10 or $20 for that matter. So you want to set up something a little bit higher, like a few $100s for beginners. And if you're spending a lot by the day, then obviously you want to increase your ad account spending limit. So that's really all there is to it. And if you want to remove this limit for whatever the reason, you can click on remove. And we're back to the default. So with that said, I'm just going to change this back to $300 because that was the intended spending limit for this account. And there we go. We have just set up a security net in place for your ad spend with your credit card or debit card for the matter. Spy tools are now a thing of the past because even within Facebook itself, you can already start spying on any active advertisements that pages are running. And this has been the case since 2018, where Facebook, in an act of trying to be more transparent and of course to adjust with their Privacy Act, they start to allow anyone with a curious mind, and provided you know where to look at, to start viewing active advertisements that are being run by that page. So at this point, I've just opened up two particular examples, and I want to show you how you can spy on any Facebook pages that might or might not be running any advertisements. So for the purpose of this particular example, I'm going to show you Gary Vaynerchuk's FB page. And yes, he's the one of the top social media advocates and moguls. And in every Facebook page that you check out, right, you can always go to this part called the page transparency. And by the way, you can also view this in mobile. All right, you want to check out the page transparency, click on see more. And again, I'm not saying that what I'm teaching you is a very rocket science kind of thing. If you know where to look for this kind of information, it's pretty much right there, okay? And what we're seeing here right now is that you want to pay attention to this at the bottom, ads from this page. And ironically, this page is not currently running any advertisements. So with that said, when you see Facebook pages that are not running any active advertisements at all, this is what's going to show. It's not running any active ads, okay? So let's go check out another example. This is by renowned internet entrepreneur Frank Kern, and let's take a look at page transparency again. And you can see that this page is currently running ads. So if you want to take a look at what kind of advertisements that this page is running at the present time, we'll click on Go to Ad Library, and we'll take a look at the advertisements that are being run by the page, but normally the filter would be by your country. So here's the thing, like for example, I'm viewing this from Malaysia right now, and he's not running any active advertisements here. So what you want to do is you want to click on perhaps filter by all countries, so we can take a look at the advertisements that he is running or this page is running, okay? Or you can even filter by specific countries like United States, and let's have a look. So we know that these are the advertisements that are running to the United States in particular, okay? And again, if you want to go filter, you can check out all. So once again, what I'm sharing with you here, to be very frank, it's not rocket science. Again, if you know where to look at, this is pretty much the place where you can see the advertisements that are being run by a page. And this is useful in a sense that if you are going to be an agency and you're planning to run advertisements for your clients, you can spy on their competitors to see whether they are running any advertisements, or if they are running any, at least get to sort of measure up what kind of competition you're up against. Now, this does not mean that it's a license for you to copy what other people are doing, and at the same time, just know that your competitors or any other Facebook marketer that know what they're doing, they can pretty much spy on your advertisements just as well. But again, this should not concern you or worry you, because in the grand scheme of things, who you really want to impress or who you really want to get are your target customers or your target clients. And most of the time, given the niche, they're not going to be aware of what I'm sharing you, despite the obvious, unless you're obviously marketing to an internet marketing savvy crowd. Then that would be a different story altogether. However, that shouldn't be of concern. Now, what's the use of spying on Facebook ads that are being run by pages like this? I just want to say that it's a good fact finding. It's good for you to model after what is working, or what is not working, and avoid them. And at least you have a good idea what kind of competition you are up against. All right. So as you can see, it's a very simple tool, and you don't have to buy any third-party tools like the old days anymore. It's pretty much right here. In fact, you can just go to facebook.com/ads/library, and you can pretty much check out any other Facebook page. Let's just say, for the fun of it, let's go to Star Wars. Okay, you have this, the official Star Wars, and let's see if they're running any advertisements, and yes, they do. Okay, so you can see what kind of advertisements they're running, and if you take a look, you can see what platforms they're running on as well. Like this is on Instagram exclusively, this is on Facebook exclusively, and there we go. What's up everyone, Admin here, and we're coming to the final parts of the training already. Now, before we get started, I want to make sure that you have already followed through on all the past weeks training in Facebook advertising, and more importantly, that you have already taken action. And how do we know that? Is that you have already started running ads on your own. So the purpose of this whole module is to show you how Facebook advertising can be optimized and can be tweaked along the way. So in this video, we're going to talk about removing the losing ads and keeping the winners. and how to split tasks or how to tweak your advertising further. So right off the bat, I'm going to show you an example of one of our clients. And this is a rather unique client because we had picked up an aesthetic clinic and we're running a lead generation campaign for them. So whether you're selling your own digital product or you're selling your own e-commerce product, or even run a lead generation campaign to a service, whether it's your own or other people's, that's okay. It's pretty much the same mindset and mentality. And I think this just goes to show how versatile Facebook advertising can be. Now, what you're seeing here right now is a lead generation campaign for the aesthetic clinic, and this is one of the ad sets. And you'll see here, this is ran for pretty much a half of the month actually. And we started off originally with a video campaign. So that means there were no other image ads, it was just a video. This was running initially because we were having problems with the client providing images for us to use. So we just ran our own version of the video. And this was getting okay, it was getting about 3 leads for its duration. And it was getting about $10 per lead. Now, this could have been better, even though it's still profitable, because this aesthetic clinic is clearly selling a high ticket service where their clients would eventually enroll into a yearly package or a semi-annual package. That's okay. We know that they're going to make money, but of course, we were not satisfied with the results. We wanted it to be better. And then we started to introduce 2 more image ads. Now, take note that this was going to a Chinese speaking market, but the mindset remains the same. The way you write the ads, whether it's in English or another language, is still pretty much the same. So we added 2 more image ads in a while, probably a couple of days later, and then we have all 3 ads running. So there's 2 image ad and 1 video ad. And we notice that we can see the stats here that this Chinese image ad number 1 was generating 6 leads, and the cost for acquiring the lead was a lot cheaper. It's like 1/3 the cost, $3.41. Wow. Okay, and then if you notice this other Chinese ad in image form here, now this didn't generate any lead at all. All right. Now you might notice that even if you run it for a good 4 to 7 days, normally that's what I like to do. You want to run it for 4 to 7 days. Some people have this habit of quickly making a decision after 24 hours or 48 hours. Now that's just rubbish. All right. When you do Facebook advertising, it should be a long-term game. And if you want to clearly see the winning ads and the losing ads, you should give it at least 4 to 7 days. Now, 4 being the fastest, 7 being the most ideal. You don't want to be changing up ads or making a decision so quick in the next 24 or 48 hours, because you need Facebook to give it some time to rotate the ads and test out which one works. So how do you know which one's the winning ad and losing ad? Now, there's no clear-cut way, but there's a few indications I look at strongly. Number 1, when this was running for almost a week, we noticed that even though there were only 3 ads to rotate, the most of the spending went into the first image and still in the Chinese video, but by virtue of the fact that this has been running much earlier, so that's why the ad spend was higher. All right, but you notice Chinese image 2 was spending only $2.96. All right, now this is Facebook's way of telling you that it has a preference of running the other 2 ads. So when you see that the ad spend is a lot less for a couple of ads and it seems to heavily prioritize the other, it's kind of Facebook's way of telling you that these ads are more preferred than the other one. So that's one very strong indication already. So actually, based on this alone, I would have turned this off already. All right, so that's one really good indication. Another one, if you want to take a look at, I like to look at cost per 1,000 impressions. Now, ideally, I like to keep it $10 or below. Sometimes in some market, it can get a little bit higher than that, but that's okay. I try to keep this below $10 per CPM, or cost per 1,000 impressions. So you can see here, all of this are doing pretty good. They're all below $10. All right. Click-through rate, I try to keep it 1% and above, ideally. But so I think this is slightly okay. I'll still keep it that way. And if you notice, image ad 1 and video ad 1, they were getting more clicks. Now, if you see why the video has more clicks, because like I said, this ran earlier. But if they ran about the same time, then I think it would be pretty much a draw. Okay. Now, if you notice that there are less clicks for image 2, so again, another reason why I turned this off. And you can see that most importantly, these 2 ads were generating leads. Now the video one was costing more than usual, and this was wanted, but I still kept both running because sometimes it's more like a reminder behavior that some people like to click on video ads and watch. Some people like to just see the image and just get straight to the point. Surprisingly, for a lot of my campaigns, my image ads convert the best, but I will not discount video because videos for a couple of my campaigns, they were doing very great. So ideally, you want to have both image and video. You don't just want to depend on one. All right. So this is one of the just some of the ways you can actually test out and see which was the losing ad, and then you turn it off. Okay, I don't recommend deleting it because I like you to have a record of what was going on. So don't delete this kind of ads, just turn it off. All right. And then when you have these two ads left, if you want to continue split testing, which I recommend you to do until you're happy with the results, then you can start adding in more images or more ads for you to test out. However, I will not recommend that you test more than 5 in a row because even if you have a large ad spend, Facebook is going to struggle to rotate the ads because there's just too many ads to choose from. And if you're playing on a small budget, then the problem will be even more apparent. So normally I will keep it about 3 to 5 ads to split test at any given time. Just like this one, it was 3 ads. Okay, so maybe I'll just show you another example. Let's take a look at the English ad, which is pretty much the same thing. This is targeting the English speaking market. So you can pretty much see that they are the same ads, just that it's written in English this time. Okay, and again, if you notice, now although this campaign had ended because this was running for only 2 weeks for the client, if you notice that this was running at pretty much about the same time, and a lot of the ad spend was going towards the video version. All right. And if you look at the leads form here, if I were going to turn off any of this, I'd probably turn off this particular one here, image one, because this get only 2 leads. And those get a little bit more as well. But I like this image 2 over here in this case because it's generating 4 leads and at a cost of only what, $2.24. This is pretty good. All right. But of course, like I said, you want to look at a few factors before you decide which one you want to turn off. There's no hard and fast rule. Ultimately, you should keep the profitable ad and the one that's getting you results. Sometimes the cost per lead can be slightly higher than usual, but if it's getting you results and you have a way of covering and profiting that through your funnels, then more power to you. All right. But between these 3 ads here, I'd say the image 2 is the winner. If I were to turn off any of the ads here, probably the image 1, since very little ad spend is going here. All right, this is actually still okay. All right. Probably add in another video in this case. Okay, so that's really all there is to it. I'll be putting up a PDF version of this whole split testing and optimizing so that you have a clearer picture. And all the best in your Facebook marketing success.
If you had already created your first campaign, well done. You've taken the first step. Now, let's review again. This was the same example in the previous video where I created a conversion campaign on how to get leads for this upcoming live event. All right, so by clicking this and then we'll check it out, there's only 1 ad set. This was exactly what I created, and this is running on a budget of $5 a day. Now the question is that you probably want to duplicate the ad set and target other types of interest, and that's okay. All right, a lot of people do that. It's quite normal to have multiple ad sets in one campaign. So in this campaign, we're targeting the real estate interest with mid-value goods, and let's just say you're gonna target another keyword or detailed interest. All right, so here's how to duplicate the ad set and still target the same ads. So what do I mean by saying that? I'll show you in a while. And like I said previously, a lot of people make this mistake, and I'll tell you what that mistake is. Okay, so right now, just follow me on this and listen carefully. All right, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to click on duplicate. All right, original campaign, let's just leave it be. All right, so right now you see that there's a duplicate of this campaign here, and the name of the ad set is the same name except there's this word hyphen copy right in front. Now ad set name is something I'll change last. Let's just go down and see what we're going to change. All right, conversion, website lead, let's leave that alone. Dynamic creative, leave that alone. Offer, leave it alone. Budget and schedule, you may choose to leave it alone as well. So normally if I'm going to do $5 a day per ad set, I'll just have several of them that way. Next up, Let's go to audience, custom audience, let's leave it alone. Location, in this case, because this is about a property and I want to get people around the vicinity to come to our free talk, I'm going to leave this alone as well. And age and gender and language, let's leave it alone. So the only thing that we're really going to change here is just the detailed targeting, and we're going to find another detailed interest. So that took me a while, and after putting in a few detailed targeting, we are able to reach a potential reach of 320,000 people. So it's okay, but like I said, this is just an example I'm showing you right now. Again, ideally, I would like to put it like 350,000 people to 1 million people, all right? So this takes a while to actually hone down, and you might also want to take a look at suggestions as well. You can see what other suggestions we could come up with as well. Okay, so I have like real estate entrepreneur, and let's see how many we can get right now. 400,000 people. So by putting in a few of this data targeting, you can put in suggestions, and then Facebook will help make the suggestions for you, all right? So let's just say this is the data targeting that we want, and then what we're going to do is we're going to leave the rest alone. Edit placements, yep, everything except audience network. Conversion, 7 days click. So what 7 days click means is that if someone takes action after seeing the ad and goes to your website, but only takes action within the 7 days, then you will record the action as a lead. Okay, you can see how smart Facebook is, right? So let's rename this ad set to what it is right now. So I'm aware that there's a lot over here, so normally I just pick one of them. I'm just going with income property. Okay, so we've got potential, we have 400,000 people, and this is what the ad set is. So I'm going to click publish. You can see that took quite a while, and it took me like, I think probably a minute for the whole thing to get approved. So if you see some slowdown, don't be alarmed. I think Facebook is just heavy on the engine in the back office, so don't worry about it, okay? So right now, as you can see here, we already have 2 ad sets spending $5 a day each, and that is a total of $10 a day, all right? You can create more ad sets if you want, and that depends on your budget and your risk appetite, okay? Now, what's interesting is that this also has 3 ads in the ad set, and this is quite identical to the ads that I created earlier in the other video. So this might look very familiar to you. So you think we're pretty much done here, right? Not quite. Now you see, even though the ads are the same, but in actuality they're just duplicates. And what happens is that a lot of people, they don't know how the ad sets actually work, or rather the ads in this case. What happens is that when they have all these ads running, and when people start to like and comment, and then they will see another similar ad but without the history of it, because they are actually different ads altogether. All right, so I'm going to say it again because this is a part that a lot of people don't understand. Like, let's just say, for example, this ad is running, and I think the best way for me to show you is by clicking on this thing at the top right. Click on Facebook post with comments. Okay, I'm going to show you something very interesting, and you'll understand why I'm very particular about it. And a lot of people, especially there's some social media agencies, they don't even know they were doing this ad. It's kind of asinine if you think about it, all right? So what I just did here is that I'm going to the other ad set, and I'm going to show you a very identical ad, because it's basically just a copy, all right? So what you want to do is click on this window over here at the ad preview, and then select Facebook post with comments. Okay? So you can see here that these are same ads, right? They all look the same, right? But here's the problem. If you pay attention to this browser at the top, look at this post number, okay? 1936006433156346, okay? you can see that this is different. All right, this ends with 1630. This is 6346. You can tell that these are two different posts, even though they are the same. Okay, so what happens is that when you run ads and people comment, like, and share, that normally happens throughout time. All right, they might comment on this post and there's a history on it, but this ad will have nothing. All right, it's a different ad altogether, even though it looks the same. All right, so you can run ads for a long time, but you don't build up that social proof, and it's going to be a waste. Again, I know I'm not really the kind of guy who believes in getting a lot of likes just to get a sale, but if you're going to be paying that kind of money to have the ad run for a considerable amount of time, I think you will definitely want to build your social proof. So here's what you can do right now. I'll show you what you can do. Okay, so from now on, what we're going to do is that we're going to go to the original ad set you have created, and it's this one, and go to ads. Let's start off chronologically from first image ad number 1, 2, and 3. So let's go to the first one, and we're going to click on this icon over here at the ad preview. Click Facebook post with comments. It'll open in a new tab. Let's do the same for the other one as well. And also the other one. All right, so there's a total of 3. Here's what's going to happen. Okay, we're going to go back to this ad set. We're going to go to the second ad set that we had just duplicated. All right, let's take this and go back to this one. Now we're going to go through this one by one. Let's go off with ad 1, image 1. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to click on use existing post. Enter post ID. All right, there's no way you can select any of this past, what I call the post, by the way. It's not going to be accurate, so don't do that, okay? Now you're going to post the ID over here. So let's go back to the tab that we had just created. Select this post ID over here. All right, copy, and then we're going to paste it here. All right, click submit. And it's going to get updated. All right, so even though it looks the same, but right now this post is the same as the other one, so we don't have to worry about duplicated ads from now on. Okay, in fact, this is just a one-off for this ad set, and when you duplicate this ad set again, you don't have to do that again anymore. Okay, you can be very sure by clicking back on this icon here next to the ad preview and see whether the post number is correct. Is this identical with this one? Yes, it is. So I'm jumping 2 different tabs right now, and they are the same ad post. That's just wonderful. All right, saved you some trouble over there. Let's go to image number 2. Let's do the same thing. All right, click on use existing post, enter post ID, and then let's look for this post here. All right, that's the correct one. Let's copy this, copy this code over here after post, paste it here, submit. And we're done with this one. Okay, let's just click publish for this, and let's do the same thing for the third and the last one. You will do this the same for any number of ads you create, and like I say, after this ad set, if you duplicate it again, you won't have that problem anymore. All right, I think you figured out third time's a charm. Let's do it. Copy the post link up here with these numbers. All right, go back here, click use existing post, enter post ID, paste it, submit. Okay, that's all there is to it. This is how you can quickly and accurately duplicate your ad sets without creating multiple different types of ads. And like I said, that's just not really a smart way of going about doing it, and I've just saved you some trouble over there with social proof. And that's all there is to it.
Okay, this is going to be a very short video and very straight to the point, but at the same time, I know that some people that run Facebook ads might struggle with this on an emotional and psychological level as well. So when you run advertisements, you can almost always expect that you're going to get spam comments and some really rude comments that's totally unfounded, like this one over here. Now, I just want you to know that this is part and parcel of running Facebook ads, because when you run ads, it's always going to a cold audience, and some of them might just project their insecurities or their negative thoughts onto your post, no matter how well intentioned you are. So the short and very straightforward answer is to just hide, delete, and ban, really. So I don't personally think it's a good idea for you to engage with this kind of comments unless you are considered a witty person or you're going to build quite some goodwill. That I do not know, okay? But the short answer is don't waste your energy on that. I want you to focus on conversions and the end results. So how do we remove comments like this and ban them? It's quite simply by clicking on the command here. We click on hide command, and then we'll click on ban the person, and then finally we just click on delete, and we're done. Simple.